Oh, you mean the natural hair coming out of my scalp? Yeah, I like it like this. But if you don't, you can die.
Natural hair in America has always been a topic of great controversy. Here in the 21st century, Black women still face discrimination and policing of their natural hair and how they choose to wear it. The history of America's negative attitude towards natural hair dates back to the American chattel slavery era, a continuation of the hate-filled stereotypes and notions that Black people, their behavior, and their physical features were inferior, and therefore deserving of oppression. But the rich history of Afro-textured hair thrived long before that. Pre-colonial African hair was seen as a symbol of the individual's identity, male or female. Hair was always specific to every person in every occasion. Your family, tribe, profession, and class all played a part in how your hair was styled. In fact, when people did not adhere to this standard, they were seen as mentally ill. Lori Tharps brilliantly explains the history of natural hair from present day going back to 15th century Africa in her book, Hair Story, Untangling the Roots of Black Hair in America. We can still see the continuation of this natural hair heritage today. Black hair identity in America shifted as enslaved Africans toiled under chattel slavery. Being robbed of their culture, freedom, and identity, all of the traditions of loving and upkeep of hair were lost. Blatant discrimination of Black women's hair was seen on full scale in Louisiana in 1785 when Spanish colonial governor Esteban Rodriguez Miro passed a law that stated Afro-Creole women must wear tians. The head covering, or tian, was mandated for the purpose of concealing the exotic beauty of Afro-Creole women in Louisiana society. Black women responded to this by using the tians as a fashion symbol. They adorned their tians with feathers, beads, ribbons, and jewels, and drew even more attention to themselves. Fitting into Eurocentric beauty standards became the goal for many freed Black Americans as they fought oppression to assimilate into an already anti-Black society. It was done out of necessity. The Black women hair care industry established America's first Black woman self-made millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker. Though it is widely believed she invented the hot comb, further proof of the patent shows that's not quite true. However, she did build an empire dedicated to helping Black women grow their hair after hair loss she experienced working in a laundromat. Straightened hair was seen as good hair in a vehemently anti-Black society. Having it greatly contributed to attaining success. Having straightened hair could also result in elevating a woman's personal, social, and economic status. The Black Panther movement encouraged Black women to reject Eurocentric standards of beauty and begin to embrace their own. Black women's hair was seen as a political statement, as many began to rock their natural afros. The emergence of the perm, aka the creamy crack, once again shifted Black women's views on hair. Texturism and featurism have also did a heavy number on whose natural hair was celebrated in the Black community. The second wave natural hair movement saw more outright texturism than ever before. A movement started by dark-skinned Black women to celebrate their natural 4C hair and embrace their natural roots quickly became a divisive way to make money off Black women's insecurities by once again perpetuating the stereotype that natural hair only looked good a certain way and only on certain people. Most of the women who benefited from the natural hair movement ended up being women whose natural hair was already seen as good hair. Blackfishing and cultural appropriation run rampant as non-Black women benefit from rocking trendy natural styles that Black women find themselves discriminated, limited, and fired for. The pervasive negative stereotypes that constantly surround natural hair doesn't help. The way Black people have been treated in PWI spaces, in schools, and in the workplace is very discouraging when it comes to rocking your natural. The ugly truth of the disregard of Black people's hair is seen in the loss of job opportunities and devastating discrimination in schools that has led to many Black students being expelled and/or their hair being literally cut off. So, why aren't more Black women currently embracing their natural hair? Many are. It's a slow process, especially when Eurocentric beauty standards remain pervasive today, even heavily within the Black community. What many see as an over-reliance on protective hairstyles is actually many Black women's way of expressing themselves while protecting their 4C fine hair strands, which simply aren't meant to be manipulated or put under heat every day. Unfortunately, being robbed of cultural practices has taken its toll on many Black people. The internalized hatred of society's misogynoir for Afro-textured hair is abundant. Nowhere is that more clear than when Black hairstylists refuse to style 4C hair, or when mothers put lace wigs on their babies, teaching them to reject their natural hair from a very early age. Reminds me of when they used to perm our hair when we were kids, and what that taught, or rather didn't teach, us about embracing our own hair texture. Many also feel the insistence to wear indoor bonnets in outdoor places reflects our dislike of our natural hair. It's also clear that some women have an unhealthy obsession with constantly gluing lace fronts over nurturing their own hair. They will eventually have to come to terms with this. We often see Black women online saying keeping up with their natural hair is too difficult. Installing a wig can be difficult work. Creating anything worth having takes patience. Anyone with long, beautiful hair has to work for it. Anyone. Racism and colonization has taught Black women that taking care of their own natural hair is difficult to do. But as with anything, the more you know, the better off you'll be. I say this from experience, and while natural hair influencers may make the process seem arduous, you don't have to do everything they say. You can pick and choose what works for you, what keeps your hair healthy but doesn't take up a significant amount of your time. There are Black women on YouTube who can help educate you on how your specific hair functions and what it needs. Understanding this will make the process of caring for your natural hair easier, but you have to educate yourself. You have to do the work to benefit from it. No matter how you decide to rock your strands or locks, be sure to love them. Black women deserve autonomy over their hair. It's time for Black women to get back to loving themselves. It's time for Black women to define their own beauty standards once and for all. I know it ain't easy. Loving our natural hair is a struggle for most of us, including myself, but we're worth it. Natural hair should always be celebrated. However, we should no longer tolerate natural hair only being celebrated when it's based in texturism, or it's an elaborate, expensive style, or it's in extensions, clip-ons, wigs, and definitely not only because it comes with baby hairs and slicked down edges.
Oh, you mean the natural hair coming out of my scalp? Yeah, I like it like this. But if you don't, you can die.